Hi there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making this adorable, bright, shiny gold gift box, or it could be a treat box if you'd like to give someone a special treat. This is project number 2 in my Perfectly Plaid class to go. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current class kit I'm offering. Now for this project you'll need your Perfectly Plaid stamps and your pine tree punch, and this is sold as a bundle right now. I'll put the number on the screen. And you're also going to need shaded spruce ink, but if you wanted to use a different color, you could use a different color. I just used shaded spruce because it matches the ribbon. Now we'll be using the Perfectly Plaid stamps to stamp the tree image in the Delicata Golden Glitz ink. Gives it a little bit of a shiny effect there. And because this is a gift box or bag, treat bag, it needs a to or from, so I went and got the to and from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamps, and I also put no peeking till Christmas. But you could put something out there like oh what yum. If you put a treat in there, you could put to and from oh what yum, because you wouldn't want them to wait until Christmas to open it if it's a goodie to eat. It would probably not be all that great. So you'll need your Itty Bitty Christmas or something else that you have that has a to and from and maybe a little saying there. And for your adhesives, you're probably going to want to have some tear and tape to tape your ribbon together, but you could try to use regular snail, but I'm not sure how long it would hold. But if you have tear and tape, please use that. I think you'll be happier with the results. And then you can use your multi-purpose glue and your snail. And I put the tree on with glue dots just to give it a tiny little bit of dimension. Found if I used glue, it was too flat on the surface. So even just a tiny bit of dimension makes quite a bit of difference. So I'll give the dimensions as we go along so that if you don't have the kit, you could still make this as long as you have the supplies. So this is our kit right here. Everything is pre-cut for you. And we will be doing a little bit of stamping. We are going to stamp on this. It's the 2 inches by 3.5, and I just scored it in half. So we're going to go ahead and put these aside for now till we're ready for those. And we'll get our Stamparatus out because we're going to stamp the inside of our card. Now I'm going to use a 4x6 piece of window sheet, and you get one of those with your first class to go kit from me. Just hang on to it because we will use it again and again. And I am doing, I'm going to be using, first of all, let's see. We will be stamping the tree. We have a piece of green shaded spruce, 2 1/8 by 5.5. We will stamp one of our little trees on there, so we won't need plastic quite yet. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Sorry. So this is the image we're going to use, this image right here. And I guess we use that one too to fill it in. So this image and this image we need. So we'll go ahead and get this one, the base, and we're going to put it towards the end. You could do 2 of these. You have enough to do 2, but we only need to do 1. So, and I'll go ahead and get the leaves out too, because I'll be using those again real soon. Keep that handy for now. So make sure those do not clang together, and I want to get it as close to the edge as possible so that when I punch it, I don't have to worry about having enough room. So I'm going to get my Golden Glitz Delicata ink, and I'm going to ink up the base part of the tree. And I might do that one more time because I want it to show up really good. All right, I'm going to clean that off. And this just wipes right off. This ink here. You don't need any special cleaner. I'm just using my usual hand and face wipes from Publix. I don't know how a chamois would do though, but these seems to do pretty good here. And now we're going to bring in the other tree stamp, and it's the one with the leaves. And we're going to, this is still kind of wet. You might want to wait till it dries. I'm going to chance it and just kind of lay that down on top. And I'm going to ink this up with my golden glitz. And I think I will do that one more time. So I have lots and lots and lots of glitter. Glittery gold. So pretty. Okay, we do want that to dry really well before we try to punch it. So we're going to set that aside to dry and clean off our stamp. So we're ready to do the inside of our little card. I will get my plastic this time for real. We're going to put it in the corner, landscape. The first thing we want to do is our to and from. So we'll get our to and from, whatever to and from you're using. Now I had to switch my underneath because I went from photopolymer to rubber. You might have to do that as well depending on what stamp set you're using. So I've got my to and from, and I'm going to do this in shaded spruce ink, but you could use whatever color you have. There's my to and from. So that's going to show me where it's going to stamp. I want it on this half, up at the top, like this, to and from, and then I'll put my no peeking till Christmas there. And then when you're happy with where you have it, you can put your magnet down and remove your plastic. I'll ink up that stamp again. I'm not going to press too hard. I don't want to squish the letters. That looks good there, so I'll clean that stamp off. And I'll also clean off my piece of plastic. And I'll dry it with some microfiber cloth so I can reuse it here in just a second. So I'm now ready to get my plastic again. Put it landscape. This time I'm going to put, since I have to do the bottom, I think I'll put my plastic down here so that I can slide it under like this. And I'll put my no peeking till Christmas right about here. Ink that up with some shaded spruce. Now I can slide this down and get it even. All right, so I'm going to put my magnet in place and ink up my stamp, remove my plastic, ink it up with shaded spruce. And we have no peeking till Christmas. Clean that stamp off and then we will be finished with our stamping. So now this should be dry enough that we can punch it. So we're going to just slide that in and center it and then punch it. Okay, and then you do have, if you wanted to do more, you've got a little extra there. So this is going to go on the front of our little card. Now let's see, where'd our little card go? So this is our 2 by 3.5 inch card. We'll go ahead and fold this and use our bone folder, or you can just crease it with your finger if you can find your bone folder. Okay. So there, and then this is going to go on the front like this. And I'm going to use glue because I like to have some wiggle room. Now I forgot to tell you that this paper is 1 5/8 by 2. 1 5/8 by 2. It might be better to do this flat like this. It's like a mini card, a miniature card. So 1 5/8 across, 2 inches up there, and this is actually 2 1/8 by 3.5. Okay, so I might have told you wrong in the beginning. 2 1/8 by 3.5. Now our little tree is ready to go on the front, and I will put that on with glue dots. And that's just going to go in the center like that. Make sure it's straight. Press it down. Okay, I don't know if you will have a 1/8 inch punch, but you're going to want to punch this corner right here. If you don't have a 1/8 inch punch, then you will want to maybe use like a piercing tool or something just to make enough hole there to put your twine through, or your linen thread. So our card is ready. Now we're going to get our box built. We'll get our gold box. I'm not sure how this is going to work here with the camera. I think that it's pretty shiny, so it's probably going to make a lot of glare, so I'll try to keep it on the white side as much as possible so it doesn't blind you. So we're just folding it on our folds. Finding our folds and folding all of them. You don't need this little round piece here. These little pizza boxes are so cool. So so next we're going to put these in with the tabs inside, and you'll see little slits right there. That in that little slot, you're going to stick that in, and then you're going to bring this over, and then those tabs also go in that slot. That's what holds it together. Then you're just going to bring this up like this, like a pizza box, and push that in. Now your box is ready. So we're going to put our ribbon. We have a piece of 12 inch of the Shaded Spruce gold striped ribbon. It's going to go around to the back, and this is where we're going to put our tear and tape. But first we're going to measure. I'll get a pencil, and I'm going to measure not where this ends, but a little bit, like maybe 1/4 of an inch. We're going to make a little bit of a mark. And you know, it's okay to use a pen too if you need to, because that pencil is just not doing the job. So don't get too close to the edge though. You just want to make enough mark that you can know where that you want to stop your tear and tape. So this is going to be on the bottom. So we're going to put tear and tape from the edge to this mark right here. So I'll get my tear and tape. Find my mark. Put that on. I'm going to burnish that with a bone folder just to make sure it gets in there really good. Now we're going to make sure the top is facing down and your tape is facing up. So top is facing down, your tape is facing up. We're going to remove that tape and then we're just going to put this right across there. You don't want it too tight. You want to be able to slip it off, but you don't want it so loose that it falls off. So it's kind of tricky, but I have faith in you. I think you can do it. Let me get that lined up really good. And then I'm just going to lay it down on top, just like that. And then if you have a jagged end here, if you've left yourself enough room, you can kind of cut that at a slant so that it has like a pretty edging to it and it's not all frazzled. Okay, now this is where we're going to put our card and our little bells. So we'll bring in our bells. We've got one of each color. And we have a piece of the linen thread. Looks like there's 6 inches of the linen thread. And we will put one end through our card. Now if your hole isn't too pretty, it might not show that much anyway, so don't worry about it if you had to pierce a hole and it's looking kind of shaggy. So what I've done is I put that under that ribbon and I have it about half and half, even on each side. Now I'm going to put my bells on and go through that. They're just going to thread them through the linen thread. Okay, once you get them all threaded, you're going to just basically tie it like you would your shoe. Not too tight. You want to be able to open up your card. And then once you tie it, you're going to tie it again. Make sure it's nice and tight. The knot is tight, not that the bells are tight. You want the bells to be able to ring. And then when you have done that, you might want to do it one more time, just for fun, just to make sure. And then you're going to cut it about 3/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch. Now if you want, what I did is I untwisted these little ends here to give it more of a tassel type of look. And then I kind of tucked it under here, under the bells. Okay, just tuck that under. Might be twisted together a little bit. I think I'll trim that too, so they're even. So it looks more like a tassel. And the good thing is you can slide your bells over so that it's kind of right there. Now that's our little gift box. So this was project number 2 and my Perfectly Plaid Class to Go kit. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current Class to Go kit I'm offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.